Do you ever wonder why you understand people speak in English, but when it comes to your turn to speak, you are struggling a lot putting your thought into your words accurately in English? Well, I will be honest with you. I had been there before. Even though I already graduated in English education, I understood very well the English context given to me. I was very confident when people speak English to me, but then I remember when I was in thesis defense in a room with many lecturers and they asked me so many questions also demanding me to explain my paper and everything went blank. Even both my grammar and my pronunciation were messed up. This phenomenon is called passive fluency. Now I've been trying to figure it out, identify the problems and how to solve it. The first thing I want to address is communication skill doesn't represent the intellect you have. I know there are a lot of experts in academic disciplines or in other domains who are well known for intellectually advanced but cannot speak well. That's because most of the case, people are not aware that they put too much input level rather than the output level. What are they actually? To make it clear, I want to explain first about learning styles. There are two learning styles, input-based learning and output-based learning. Input-based learning is reading and listening, while output-based learning is speaking and writing. The problem is, most in school nowadays, not all school but mostly, they still use traditional education method like input-based learning, passive learning, which is focusing too much on reading and listening. You are most likely listening to your teacher rather than doing active speaking and writing. And we live in overload information era. When you got home, you grab your smartphone and you are likely absorbing too much information from your screen, like what you are doing right now. You are frequently using your eyes and your ears rather than your mouth. I'm not saying that those behaviors are bad. Gaining information is what I recommend. I just want you to balance your mind to produce your output level more often. There's a research says that input-based learning is not effective. The golden ratio between input-based learning and output-based learning is 3 to 7. So you need 30% listening and reading and 70% speaking and writing. If you learn so much input and never make it to output, what are you doing with the knowledge you have gained? You are not learning anyway. Well, basically what I'm doing right now is increasing my output level. I'm recording, talking in front of camera, and before that I wrote the script that requires speaking and writing. I know it takes hours or days during the process just to make one video, but I highly recommend you to create YouTube channel as part of your documentary for your speaking skill. You can use Instagram to post about something you have learned, or most Gen Z right now, Gen Z right now loves TikTok and whatever the apps you are comfortable with. The kinds of content in TikTok or Instagram don't need a lot of editing. Or if you don't want people to watch your video, set your account into private. Sometimes I do journaling to put out all of my thoughts into written text or record it to voice notes. People will issue me weird. I know they already have. Whenever I send chat and voice note to myself, listening to myself, they judge me. However, the method itself works. It's working. I have ever heard quotes about if it sounds stupid but it's working, then it's not stupid. And I do agree with that. Never say yourself that you are bad at speaking. Instead, say that you are improving. So if you have problem with communication skill like speaking skill, You are actually smart. You are not stupid. I don't want you to undervalue yourself, underestimate yourself, limiting your self-belief. No, I don't want it. You just need to put your output level much more until you get used to it. Remember 30% input and 70% output. Create speaking routine. You need to practice your tongue. Start conversation with language exchange partner. Start conversation with friends in English, or even start conversation with yourself. Sometimes I talk to the mirror. If you find your own teacher, good. At least you get a quick feedback, and you need to adapt your brain to that language first. Getting quick feedback is very important. Whenever you make a mistake, you are aware that you made a mistake. I used to make a pronunciation mistake like the word examine until my lecturer said and correct me. The correct pronunciation is examine. 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 The worst part is when you are not aware of making mistake and no one correct you until it became a habit, and it's hard to change the habit that's already been built for years. Make English as your daily conversation. And I will tell you something. I have my own parameter whether you are good in English or not. If you are capable to think in English, or your heart could speak naturally in English, I can say that your English brain is already good. It's just my opinion. You are worried what people think about you. The reason you are holding back from speaking English because you are overthinking about people's opinion, whether it can be your accent, your grammar, or you are making error or making mistake. Remember, no one not ever made a mistake in learning language. Even the native speaker himself sometimes make mistake, grammar mistake. Remember, if native speakers are mocking for your broken English, they most likely only know one language, whether you can speak other language. My lecturers used to criticize my Japanese accents, and I feel like I was being underestimated. My thought was like, you used to live in UK for years and you are comparing my accents who have no experience at all living in UK. Like, why? It's not balanced. Remember, I'm not judging you because of your accents. If you want to have British accent, it's good. If you don't want it, it's okay. The bad thing is if you judge someone because of his accents. And final, you are perfectionist. I know it's hard if you are kind of person that anything needs to be well prepared, perfect, without any flaw before you are taking action. Make an execution like speaking English, for example. One of the reasons that you should get rid of that mindset is you should not be perfect first at learning English. No one is perfect. I make a mistake, you make a mistake, we make a mistake. Understand that we never be perfect. Instead of having everything well prepared, enjoying the process that you are getting better and better is the actual fun and the real journey. Just like I said before, documenting your process of speaking English until you get to that master level, and when you look back to the old videos, I think it will be sweet journey and memories to remember. I guess that's all from me. If you find this helpful, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel and like my video. I'll see you later. Bye. Don't forget, 30% input, 70% output. Bye.